All right, here we are live, Dan. Friday Night Blitz
Friday night.
for week 2. And hold on one second. Let's go. Let's go. Yo, you and I have been watching as many of the games as we can. We've been getting some people reporting in from the different games that are going on tonight, and we've got some scores to report, Dan. Let me see. Let me go first here with
Okay.
some All right.
All right.
So
Let it rip.
I've got Providence against Lincoln Way Central. This game is about 9 minutes left, and Providence is up 23-14 at this point. Let's go to the Bennett game. So Bennett against Moline. Bennett Academy 21, Moline 14. There's about 6.5 minutes left to go in this game. Bennett is driving again here. Actually, as I'm watching this right now, Dan, they scored again.
Okay.
So
All right.
Bennett's going to go up here maybe 27-14, 28-14, pending the extra point. Montini Hillcrest, much closer than we anticipated. It's 7-0 right now. Montini over Hillcrest in the coming up on the end of the second quarter. Another game, Marist just scored in the Battle of Pulaski, the big game tonight.
Okay.
So Marist and Brother Rice. It's 20-20 right now, but Marist has just got the extra point blocked. So they don't go up 21-20. The score is tied there 20-20, Dan.
All right. Well, that's good. So I'll catch up on the ones that I've been watching, Joe, and kind of following. Unfortunately, the broadcast for Mount Carmel St. Rita we have a correspondent out there. We just don't have any sort of live feed currently, which is a bummer. But Joliet Catholic Oswego just wrapped up with Oswego taking down the Hilltoppers 17-0 in that game. I have live watching St. Pat's take on Elgin Larkin. St. Pat's is up 24-0 at the end of the third quarter. Notre Dame looks to be just about wrapped up with Sterling. So Notre Dame is up 17-0 late in the fourth quarter. So that one looks to be well in hand for the Dons. Carmel and Lake Forest just came out for the second half. We've got a 7-3 Carmel lead in a tough game. And Joe, my game of the night so far has to be St. Ignatius and Fenwick. Great broadcast, number one, and we are tied 24-24.
24-24. Where were we at? Like, how far in the game on there?
2 minutes and 58 seconds left in the third quarter on this feed.
All right. Yeah. And, you and I we've been here for a little while watching the games, Dan, and we've been talking about our predictions. Where are you at on your predictions so far?
I am iffy, to say the least. I think I'm good with St. Pat's. I think I had picked that. This Fenwick and St. Ignatius game, I've got St. Ignatius, so that's tied right now.
Yeah, I picked Fenwick on that one, Dan.
Yeah, it's a really good game. Really, really good game. Lake Forest and Carmel, I took Carmel, so Carmel's helped me out on that one. Sterling and Notre Dame, I think I lost that one, Joe. I think I picked Sterling to beat Notre Dame, but Notre Dame is going to prove me wrong. Which is fine. It looks like we're in the final seconds of that one, Joe. It looks like ND might be maybe taking a knee or the ball was turned over on downs, but that's 17-0. It looks like that's how that's going to wrap.
Yeah, and Dan, tell us about the Joliet Catholic game. That's a bit of a surprise. Joliet Catholic and Oswego.
Thanks. Yeah, that's one I got right. So I picked Oswego. I think I said that I had some intel from about how good Oswego was in their game versus Nequa Central last week, or Nequa Valley last week. So I thought they might be really good, and their defense lived up to its billing. They've got stud linebacker. It's Carson Mooney or Carson Cooney. I can't remember. Anyway, he's advertised Oswego.
Yeah.
That is so.
Okay.
So they were able to shut out Joliet Catholic's offense. JCA was running their style of offense in the first half. Came out throwing the ball a little more in the second half, but Oswego was able to shut them down. It seemed like every time Joliet Catholic would get a good sized play, kind of an explosion play, they would either turn it over, tackle for loss in that same series to kill that drive. So very good performance by Oswego. They did a really nice job on defense and just enough on offense to get by.
Yeah. Okay. I'm so on the Brother Rice Marist game. So Brother Rice has got the ball here, and it's just third quarter just ended, right? 20-20. You know, Marist had a chance to go up by a point after they just scored a touchdown, but Brother Rice blocked the extra point. So, this one's going to come down to the wire, Dan. We're heading into the fourth quarter, tied up 20-20, Battle of Pulaski. So.
Okay, so I'm hearing, Joe, from one of our correspondents that we are good to go on X. So far, not finding us on Facebook or YouTube. Just a technical side there to our guests.
Yeah,
so,
well, I can possibly check that, Dan.
And as you're doing that, Fenwick is driving, so they have the ball. They're driving just as the third quarter is going to end. Fenwick is in the red zone, down to the 12-yard line of St. Ignatius.
All right, good. It shows we're streaming live to X, to YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook.
Okay.
Maybe
latest update, all good on YouTube. So
here we go. Maybe there's a bit of a delay, right?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Rightly so.
Yeah, rightly so. Considering you and me, right?
Right.
Yeah, it gives us a chance to cut out anything that we don't want going out live.
Yeah,
right?
We're solid like that. Yes,
we are solid.
Joe, do you have an update for us on the St. Rita? I think St. Rita and Mount Carmel game. I know we have a correspondent out there, Jenny from Deep Dish Pizza.
Let me look here. Nothing on Mount Carmel. The last update I had was. Mount Carmel fumbled on the 23 and St. Rita recovered. It was 7-0 Mount Carmel with 3:29 left in the first quarter, Dan. I don't have an update from anything from that point as far as the score is concerned.
I think it was 14-0 last I saw on X. Joe, another quick update here. They're coming in fast and furious. De La Salle and Coach Harold Blackman get their first victory tonight as the Meteors take down Foreman. So great job by Coach Blackman, one of my fellow Wildcats. So really happy for him.
Yeah. Do we have the score on that, Dan, or just
no final score? Just that De La Salle won.
All right. Good. Yeah, we were. We were a little worried about De La Salle. After their first game, but it looks like they're back on track here, Dan, and that's really good because we like Coach Blackman, and we want things to go well for them out there. Dan, Bennett Academy just scored again. They're and made the extra point. They're up 35-14 now over Moline, and it looks like there's 5:48 left to go in the third quarter.
Oh, that's still in the third quarter. Okay.
Well, that's what I'm watching, right? just like we may be delayed, that may be delayed as well.
Take all our information with a grain of salt. We're going to be close. We can promise our listeners and that we're going to be close. So,
yeah. Brother Rice here has got the ball. Boy, Tyler Lofton, Dan, is the real deal. The running back for Brother Rice. He just took the ball at the 20. He made about 4 guys miss. Took it out over the 30. Got hit there by about 3 Marist defenders, then dragged him to the 40-yard line.
Yeah, he just doesn't go down. He
No.
just does not like to fall over. He's
Yeah,
something else. So
he's got that low center of gravity,
yep,
and plus he's fast as heck.
yeah.
So
So
yeah.
Joe, Lake Forest has taken the lead
Woo.
on Carmel, 10-7. So they just kicked the ball off back to Carmel. Carmel's got it at their own 18-yard line to start their drive here.
And where are we at time wise in that game, Dan?
That is still in the third quarter. So pretty. I think there's about 7 minutes left in the third quarter. 7 minutes and 13 seconds. I got a scoreboard shot.
I'm trying to remember in our preview and prediction, the prognosticus episode where
Yeah,
we covered Carmel and Lake Forest.
right.
Um, do you remember where Lake Forest was week 1 and what they did? Um, I do not. So I'm putting it on you.
Yeah. If you give me a second here, Joe, I could find out.
Wait. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I will. I will do that as well.
Yeah. So we've got an update while we're looking, Joe. I
All
can
right.
update you on St. Pat's and Elgin Larkin. St. Pat's has scored to make it 30-0, 30-0 for St. Pat's. So they look to have that one in control. There is 8 minutes and 30 seconds left in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I like that. So St. Pat's had tough loss last week to Notre Dame, 15-13. So I'd love to hear that they're getting back on track here in week 2.
Yeah, and Notre Dame starts 2-0. So great start. Great
Yeah,
start for the
great
Dons.
start.
So 2-0 going into conference play. They've got to feel really good about that. Sterling, traditionally tough program. And Notre Dame played another game of great defense. They were opportunistic. They had there was a blocked punt for a touchdown on this. They had there was another long play on special teams for Notre Dame. So they did a great job. Joan, another quick update here. Fenwick is taking the lead 27-24 over St. Ignatius. So kicked a field goal and just kicked off back to St. Ignatius. St. Ignatius has the ball with 9:37 left in the game, down 27-24.
Yeah, so that one's going to come right down to it as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a good
And,
game.
and you and I are on opposite sides in that one, Dan. I picked Fenwick. You've got St. Ignatius. So our little side bet.
Yeah, right. We have to. I need St. Ignatius to pick it up here. So
Yeah.
they've definitely got the personnel to do it.
Yeah, well, it looks like the Providence Lincoln Way Central game has got about 4 minutes left to go here. Lincoln Way Central's got the ball. It's a pass down the field. They're inside the Providence 35-yard line, but Providence is still up 23-14 right now.
Yeah, and that game has been back and forth too, right?
It's been back and forth. Providence took the lead, and then Lincoln Way Central had a little momentum, scored a couple of touchdowns, and made it close. But then, Providence was able to pull out ahead in the second quarter. I think they scored all 23 of their points in the first half. So a little bit light on the offense in the second half on behalf of both these teams, Providence and Lincoln Way Central.
And that's kind of what you thought going into this game was that Providence might have to work offensively a little bit. Their defense might be a little ahead of their offense.
Yeah, that's what we talked about, Dan. Remember, we were talking about Providence and Wheaton North, and neither of the offenses, had done all that well in that game. It's like Providence. I think their defense has stepped up in this game and given them some really good field position here. So I'm still a little concerned about Providence's offense at this point.
Yeah, we'll have to see how that develops. We don't know how good these defenses are. Boy, Joe, I'm watching. I'm always amazed by St. Ignatius. They're down 3 points, and there's 8 minutes left, so there's plenty of time. But the patience Coach Matt Miller has to stick with this offense and just grind it out, and he doesn't care if it's second and long. Now, right now, they face a 4th and 7 at their own 24-yard line. So it looks like the punt team's coming out. So they're putting the ball back to Fenwick, down 27-24 with 8 minutes left in the game.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, and I was just seeing here that they were posting some information about C.J. Gray, the Brother Rice quarterback. There's still some cramping going on tonight, Dan.
Is there?
Game.
We're not quite done with it yet, even though
It's 65 degrees, right?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
It's cool, and I went outside and I ran.
Did you cramp?
I did some sprints up
Yeah.
and down from the front to the back. I didn't cramp at all. Now I limped a little bit, but no cramping.
I sprinted to the refrigerator, back to the refrigerator, back. No cramping to report. Yeah.
All right, so let's see. The latest I've got on Mount Carmel, Dan, is 14-0, right in the third quarter. Is that what you reported already?
Yep, that's the latest I have as well.
All right, so that's old news. Sorry.
Joe, tell me about one game we haven't covered tonight and won't be covering this weekend is IC. What happened with Immaculate Conception's game this week?
IC was supposed to be playing the Chicago Military Academy, Bronzeville, who I believe played a game the week before against Westmont and won 12-8.
They won their game. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but for some reason this week they had to cancel or forfeit that game. So unfortunately, IC is sitting at home and not playing a game, which I'm sure is the last thing they wanted to do tonight. Yeah, so that's too bad. You feel bad for the players, right? On IC, you feel bad for the coaches. I also feel bad for Chicago Military Academy, wondering, why they've got to forfeit, at this point. But, for IC, it's tough. But they'll get back at it next week, Dan. I don't know who they've got on their schedule for next week, but I'm sure they'll be itching to go next week. And,
Oh yeah.
Anybody with some bumps and bruises from week one in a tough game they won in overtime, they get a chance to heal up now.
Yeah, I guess that's the positive spin you can put on it, and they will be fresh and ready to go. No one likes to practice without something to look forward to, but they will be healed up and ready to go for week 3.
Yeah, for sure. And let's see if we've got a couple of updates here, Dan. Mount Carmel went for it on 4th down deep in St. Rita territory. Turned it over. St. Rita gets the ball back. 6:05 left to go in the quarter in Q3.
All right, and some updates here. Oh, go ahead. Keep going, Joe.
I was going to say Marist here is on offense and driving the ball. They're inside the Brother Rice 30-yard line with just over 8 minutes to go in this game, and Marist driving, score tied 20-20.
All right, another quick update here, Joe. Fenwick has just scored to extend their lead over St. Ignatius. So they are likely to be here 34-24, and that's confirmed with the extra point. 34-24, Fenwick over St. Ignatius with 6 minutes, 16 seconds left to go in the game.
34-24, so they're up 10 with 6 minutes to go.
Not great. 2 scores for as good as St. Ignatius is. 2 scores is tough to overcome when you run that offense. That's to me the downside of running that offense. I saw that earlier with Joliet Catholic. Right. As much as both those teams will talk about their improved ability to throw the ball, it's just not in their nature. So when you get up 2 scores on them, and the same with the Bennett game against Moline, being up multiple scores is tough for those offenses that use that option game and want to grind it out and control the clock. It's just hard for them to do.
Yeah, and speaking of the Bennett game, it's still Bennett 35, Moline 21. Looks like it's start of the fourth quarter right now, Dan.
Okay. Yep. And another quick update here from St. Pat's. St. Pat's has this one firmly in control, 32-0 over Elgin Larkin. So.
All right. I think we both predicted that one.
Yeah, I thought St. Pat's would bounce back and have a good game this week against Larkin. So that's not a surprise. Maybe how much they're scoring. You know, their offense struggled last week, but so they have to feel good about their offense this week and being able to put up 32 points.
Yeah, and I did get a bit of a an update here on Montini. It looks like Montini has gone up 14-0 now. They just and it looks like they're still in the third quarter. So Montini 14-0 over
Hillcrest.
Hillcrest. Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm trying to remember all the different names or teams we got going on, or games we got going on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and yeah. So I'm up. Looks like Bennett Dan. Looks like Ryan Kabaki is going to take it 90 yards for a touchdown. Is that Kabaki? No. Who's number one on Bennett? Do you know?
I think that is yeah, one of the right. Oh, give me a second and I'll think of it. So
yeah, no problem.
Oh, that's Marty Radgowski.
Marty Radgowski. Yeah. He just took it 90 yards. Bennett goes up 41-0 or 41-21, pending the extra point here.
Oh, so in between Molina scored because it was 35-14. So
yeah, it was.
Bennett,
now it's 41-21.
All right, Bennett keeps that cushion. So
yeah.
Joe, quick update here. St. Ignatius is got the ball. They are driving a little bit. Our feed's a little choppy at the moment, but they are moving the football. They are at their own 40-yard line, so they've got some work to do with 6 minutes left in this game.
All right, yeah, and looks like Providence is going to come away with a win tonight, Dan. There's about a minute left in the game. They're still up 23-14 over Lincoln Way Central. So looks like Providence gets back on track here after losing to Wheaton North on the last play of the game last week, and we'll move to 1-1.
Good for them. That's a good win. That's a good win over a good program. I think Lincoln Way Central was 9-2 last year, so they're a really good team. All those Lincoln Way teams are really good these days. Really nice win for Providence. Kind of a rivalry game. Those two teams know each other really well. Kids that probably have played against one another for most of their lives. So they are. So that's a really good win for Providence.
Yeah, it looks like Montini is marching again here, Dan, and they're inside the Hillcrest 15-yard line. I don't know how much time is left, unfortunately, but do know the last time the score was reported, it was 14-0 Montini, but it looks like they're marching again here. So, speaking of Montini, who won the Zuko Dog of the Week award?
Oh, good question, Joe. Yeah. So our first winner was Isaac Alexander, number 28 from Montini. He had 2 picks last week, 1 for a touchdown. So he had a pick 6. So that was all in the first half. So that's when Montini did most of their damage. So Isaac Alexander, well deserved and earned, I should say, and so he was our first winner of Zuko's Dog of the Week. So excited to get out there and present him something later this season. And Isaac was excited about it. We got a lot of mentions on X, and so it was fun to do. And I've got my eyes out trying to see who jumps off the page as a potential Dog of the Week this week. So we'll have to make sure we take a look at that and come up with a good pick for week 2.
Yeah, for sure. And obviously there were other players last week who who had really good games. Not only on defense but on offense as well. But we've got our eye out, or keeping our eye out on the games this week. And I think last week I was trying to think who were some of the other considerations. Was there I think defensive lineman for Maris. Um,
Yeah, Brad Fitzgibbon.
Brad
Yeah,
Fitzgibbon, I think he had like 5 sacks, and so did
right.
their
That's what
other
was
defensive
reported.
lineman. Yeah,
Yeah.
5 sacks. Um,
Oh, I really liked Javier Payne, and it was tough to give it based on the Huns' passing performance last week. But I thought he made a couple plays that really stood out. You could tell he's a recruited player. I think he may be committed this year and already, but he was definitely in my list because you could tell he plays hard, ran a guy down in the open field, and then on that same series made a fourth down stop to turn the ball over on down. So I was really impressed by him as well. But overall, that was tough because Hun threw for over 500 yards.
right. Yeah, that's always tough. I mean, one of the other players too. I think that you and I might have talked about was the linebacker from Marmion. I know they lost one of their linebackers, Gavin Burt, to transfer. Over the summer to Geneva, but supposedly linebacker Colin McInerney stepped up, caused a fumble, recovered a fumble, had 8 tackles, and he had an interception to seal the game. So, from that standpoint, next man up for Marmion, and great game for Colin McInerney too.
Yeah, yeah, and I don't have. Have you seen any updates on Marmion's game,
I
Joe? I
have
don't
not.
think it was broadcast, so we don't have any updates. We'd love a correspondent or someone to check in and give us some information about the Marmion game. If anyone's out there and has that, we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, check in. We're be a part of the fun here, right?
Yeah, we've got a few. We've got some correspondents out there. So we've got one for St. Rita that's checking in, and obviously we've got the NAS guys who have checked in. I know they're up big, so they're probably not a ton to report, but pretty dominating performance from Nazareth
Yeah,
uh, against Kenwood.
yeah. Final Naz against Kenwood. Naz 42, Kenwood 15. So pretty dominating performance there by Naz. I'm sure we'll get some of the details over the next day or two, as far as the players are concerned and who performed and how the game went. But you know, great start for Naz this year compared to the last couple years.
Right, they're already up two. Yeah,
Yeah, they're 2-0. Where last year they were 0-4, maybe the year before 0-4 as well, right?
yeah, yeah. So they've got a good start. I think they are earning their rating. So they are rightly so to me in the top 10 for most of the polls out there. So they seem to be living up to it early in the season this year.
Yeah.
Joe, quick update. St. Pat's has gone up 39-0, so that is late in the game. 2 minutes left. St. Ignatius is driving down. They're inside the Fenwick 5-yard line. As we say this, though, it looks like Fenwick may have gotten a stop, and they did. Fenwick gets a stop on 4th and short. Jack Wanzung carries the ball for St. Ignatius and comes up just short of the first down. So St. Ignatius will turn the ball over on downs back to Fenwick. Fenwick leading 34-24 with under 2 minutes to play in this one.
Oh, that's tough for Ignatius, right? They really. How much time is left, Dan?
Just 1 minute 57 seconds. If
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
live here.
Yeah, and you've been watching this one on and off over the course of the night, and you like what you see from Fenwick, right? Their defense.
Their defense is even though St. Ignatius has put up 24 points, and it's kind of been a back and forth game. One thing that stands out when you watch some of these games is they will hit you. And hit you and hit you and hit you. So
Yeah.
it is a really really good game. So Eric, is that you checking in with
Yeah,
us?
yeah. We just went final in
Good.
NAS. So I get
What was the final?
42-7 or 42-15 was the final. Basically, we had
42
a
to
running clock the
15.
whole second half.
Was it running clock? Okay, and so was it was it 42 to nothing at halftime?
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
Who did most of the damage for Nazareth?
Logan Malachuk, our quarterback, I know he threw for 240 yards in the first half alone. He didn't play the second half. Um, we had a variety of backs that they got touchdowns in the first half. Kenwood had a lot of issues with ball security. In the first quarter, there were 2 fumbles that we recovered and then scored a touchdown on the ensuing drive. And then there was a bad snap on a punt where we ended up starting on their 3-yard line. So it was 28-0 at the end of the first quarter, and basically that was the game.
So that game was never in doubt, huh?
Yeah, and like I
Okay.
said, a lot of it, especially in the first quarter, just a lot of ball security issues for Kenwood.
So Nazareth starts 2-0 this year. So we just were discussing about how that's a nice turnaround from the last couple of
Yeah, right.
years.
Last couple of years, it was real nerve-wracking. But both years had our backs all the way up against the wall and had to win out against some tough teams. So it's a much better start.
That's great. That's great. Well, the I know that Naz is highly rated, and they seem to be earning it this year. So congratulations to the squad.
Yeah, thanks. So talk to you later.
All right.
All right.
Thanks for checking in, Eric.
Yep. Take
All right.
care. Yep. Bye bye. All right, there was Eric Kitlaus from Nazareth, and he's the I believe he's the moderator for the Naz broadcast team, Dan. And you're really excited about Naz football this year, and their broadcast team does an excellent job as well. So, anybody who wants to check in and is watching the Nazareth games, you're going to get a good broadcast from those guys.
Yeah, Joe, talk about some of your broadcasts that while we have a second here, we've got, it looks like St. Pat's is in control. It looks like Fenwick is taking a knee against St. Ignatius, so the clock is running there, although they have third down now, 3rd and 8, timeout St. Ignatius. But this is a great broadcast. I guess I'll start it out. This Fenwick and St. Ignatius broadcast is outstanding, very well done. It's got the score, it's got the time, it's got graphics. They've got commercials. They had the weather at halftime, which is really really nice. We like that. We like weather reports. So they've done a great job. They've got sponsors, so really well done. And the other one on Huddle is the St. Pat's Larkin game has been outstanding. Great picture quality, no cutouts, so really really well done.
Yeah, that's good. And you know what, Dan, you asked about the broadcasts, and I did the broadcasts, as you know, for Bennett for maybe 5 years, and then I did them for Fremd as well, and they aren't easy to put on. So I complain about watching some of these broadcasts too, but I know what kind of goes into them, kind of the background or behind the scenes type thing, and there's a lot of prep. There's a lot of technology that isn't 100% nailed at this point, so you're always dealing with. The only reason I'm pausing there, Dan, is Brother Rice just ran it in from 5 yards out. Tyler Lofton scored another touchdown here. So it looks like Brother Rice is going to go up by 6 or 7. And there's only about a minute and a half left to play here. So it's, if they get the extra point, it'll be 27-20, Brother Rice over Marist.
Wow, that's a great football game as advertised, right? That the Battle of Pulaski has been a really good one. And again, I was told by Megan at Riley's daughter that it was as big as everyone says it is. It had earned a battle name, so looks like tonight it lived up to the hype.
It did, and
I guess it's not over yet. Marist can probably score quickly if they probably have a capable passing game.
And Brother Rice does get the extra point here, so they go up 27-20 with 1:44 left to go in that game. And as you can imagine, Brother Rice and their sidelines are pretty excited right now. One of the things I was noticing in watching this game, Dan, was, and you could probably figure this out, that the number of people that are there watching this game is just amazing. They're lining the field all the way around. The end zones are packed with fans and with people. So this is Friday night football at its best. I
Yeah,
think.
absolutely. Yeah, those, people talk about their bucket list and having some college games, whether it's Big Ten or I know I would love to see an SEC football game. I haven't traveled down there to see one as a fan, but there are some high school football games out here in this area that have just an atmosphere second to none. And that's one of them. And we're going to have games like that every week in the Catholic League. This game, which has just gone final, Joe, Fenwick beats St. Ignatius 34-24. So that's I guess maybe a mild upset. I think you picked Fenwick.
I did. I picked Fenwick, Dan.
So kudos on that. I had picked St. Ignatius on that, but Fenwick gets the victory this year. They are excited on their sidelines. Also, a ton of people at this game as well. So those schools are right down the street from one another. But yeah, if people can get out to some high school football games this year, there are some great ones to see, not only in the Catholic League, but I know Naperville North and Naperville Central are playing tonight, and they do that, I think, at North Central College. So that's a big one in out here in the suburbs. So a lot of good football that has tremendous atmosphere. Is definitely something that people should see and make a point to get out to.
Yeah, and I told you about the final, right? Providence and Lincoln Way Central. I believe that was 27-13. Bennett Academy, Dan, up 42-21 over Moline right now with about 8 minutes to go in that game. So it looks like Bennett has got that in hand. Another good start for Bennett, right?
Yeah.
2-0, and that's where they needed to be after their first two games, right?
Yeah, I think they were pointing towards, like a lot of these teams, 2-0 starts going into conference. That's really, really where you want to be, and we've talked about some of the storylines this year, and not just in the Catholic League, but all over that, you had Maine South that was playing Warren tonight. I think Maine South was up the last time I looked, but they had the potential to start 0-2. We haven't talked about Loyola tomorrow at Glenbard West. Both those teams are 0-1. A really good team is going to be 0-2 tomorrow afternoon. So to start 2-0 like Bennett did going into the conference, and like Naz, you've got to feel really good about that.
Yeah. So are you going to watch any of those games tomorrow, Dan?
Yeah, I'll probably try and see what I can get. I'd love to watch the Glenbard West Loyola game. I think we've got other games in the Catholic League tomorrow, Joe, as well. So I'll probably be here in the command center, watching some high school football, maybe catching some college along the way. I don't know how my Wildcats are doing tonight. I'm almost afraid to ask, but as they play Duke, yeah. So
I'm not looking. I'm not looking.
Yeah.
Are you taping it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So you don't want somebody to call in or chat and ruin it for you, right?
If they're losing, no. If they're winning, it's fine.
Dan, we've got a correspondent checking in on the Marmion game, so we've been wondering what that score was.
Excellent.
Marmion won 56-0 against Noble Academy.
Okay, well, we kind of thought that was going to be the case. That was the Noble Academy struggled last week and with St. Lawrence, and who we haven't touched on. We probably should touch on St. Lawrence as well, but good victory for Marmion.
It is. So Marmion starts 2-0.
2-0, another 2-0, and Coach Guerra, who we've interviewed and both really liked, happy for him to get that 2-0 start.
Yeah, I'm really, happy for that program. Happy for him. We did interview him, and we both liked him a lot. And we, also what he's doing for, what his plans were for the memory program. Oh my God! And Maris just scores.
Oh, unreal!
With 45 seconds to go, it's a pass from Ritter to I can't see who the wide receiver is, but about a 25-yard pass, into the left corner of the end zone. Guy was a little too open for my liking, Dan. But 27-26 right now, and Maris is coming out for the extra point, looking to tie it up.
Well, that's a pretty critical extra point. We might want to monitor that one. That one's going to be. That's a big deal.
I'm on it, Dan. I'm on it. Yes. And let's see. The Bennett game has got 7.5 minutes left. Extra point is good. So, game is tied up. Brother Rice and Maris, 27-27, with 45 seconds left to go in the game. Yeah.
A little behind the scenes for the Varsity Voices and how we do this. So there are roughly 12 games a weekend for each one of us to cover. So we kind of divide and conquer. So you've got some games and I've got some games that I'm watching. So it is crazy just how busy it is and how fast it wheels around. And so we're, in some cases, we're at the mercy of our internet feeds. So it's always good to have correspondents check in and give us those updates. We appreciate the correspondent from Marmion giving us that final.
Yeah, and I can relate. We were talking a little bit earlier about broadcasting, which is something that I've done in the past. And always, there's always technical issues. It's like it never ends, right? And, but one of the things, so a lot of the broadcasts that we're watching are on either NFHS, which National Federation of High Schools, maybe. They do a lot of the broadcasts really across the country, and I think they work with all the schools. Or Huddle, which is one of the companies that works with a lot of the different schools, and not only for some of the, how do the schools use Huddle for just for coaching and those kinds of things internally?
Yeah, I've seen Huddle go from a company and a program that was used sparingly by a few schools to now being critical to just about every school that plays high school sports, not just football. They started with football, but they have grown into a monster that has become a critical part for high school football. And to talk about it from a football perspective, you are allowed to review plays and use video on the sidelines in high school football. So that's a little different than in college or the NFL. They can use stills. There's still photographs. You see the guys on the sideline looking at stills, but we can go. The high school programs can review video literally as plays happen. They can go back and look at that last play, look at the blocking scheme, and Huddle has the technology to create a temporary network on the field that allows you to share video between the coaches on the sideline and the coaches who are up in the booth, and they can communicate then using traditional headsets like we have on. They communicated what they saw, so you can make pretty significant adjustments on the fly using Huddle. during a game. And then all that video is stored, and Huddle helps you organize it and break it down week after week so that you know not only how you performed, but you can get tendencies from your team, from the teams you're playing, see several of the past games, and there's an agreement between coaches to share so many games before they play each week. So, Huddle has become critical in this. I mean, it's not that long ago, under 20 years anyway, right, where schools were driving either DVDs or VHS tapes, and coaches were meeting in the midpoint between schools during the week to trade video. And I know for us, we used to have the freshman coaches. That was part of their duty. They had to hop in the car and go trade video. You also would typically assign freshman coaches to go ahead and go to a game and scout. So all that stuff Huddle has changed all that.
Yeah, it sure has. And now they've got, on top of that, they've got Huddle Fan or Fan Huddle, whatever you want to call it. So what they do is they use what I think they do is they use the feeds that they're using or that the teams are providing, right? Or the schools are providing via video. And they just broadcast that, right? But what they do is they only broadcast the feed. They don't show the score. There's no announcer. Sometimes you can hear the PA guy, right?
Right.
But we're saying all this because that's what makes it a little bit difficult to get the up to date and really accurate information. So
yeah, Joe, and to speak to that, as far as bringing it back to our broadcast here, I've got Carmel and Lake Forest that I believe is 10-7 Lake Forest. I don't know if the game is back and forth, but it is broadcast. But the score says 0-0 in the first quarter. So there is. I know it's not that. I have seen a little bit, but this is a good game. Yeah, this is another game that's coming down to the wire here.
Yeah, and DePaul Prep, Dan, team that we like as well. Looks like they're up 35-0 over. Let's see, who were they? Who were they against this week? I believe DePaul Prep, Marion Central Catholic. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
all right.
DePaul Prep goes out to Woodstock and 35-0. I think they're in with only about a couple minutes left to go in that game.
Another quick update, Joe, if we want to, maybe we can run through our scores that we have. But St. Lawrence up 35-7. Harley Riz with another touchdown. So 7 minutes to go in that game. St. Lawrence up on Evanston High School 35-7.
All right. Yeah, that's good. And we've got an update. Bennett Academy scores again here in the fourth quarter. Bennett Academy goes up 49-21 over Moline. About 4.5 minutes left to go in that game, Dan.
All right. Well, a lot of points going back and forth there. And Bennett's kind of exploded offensively in that game. That's they've got to be really pleased with that.
Yeah, for sure. And I did tell everybody about the Providence Lincoln Way Central, right? Final score there was 23-14 if I got it wrong before.
Okay.
And
all right.
I'm sorry. Let me quickly. Brother Rice and Marist are going to overtime, Dan.
Wow.
27.
Maybe we monitor that, Joe.
What's that?
Yeah, maybe we monitor that and let people know what's happening there on a play-by-play basis. Have they started overtime yet?
No, they're flipping the coin right now. So looks like Brother Rice is going to kick off. Going to give Maris the ball. I'm not sure, Dan. Tell me what the overtime rules are for high school.
So there's no kickoff.
Okay.
So they will start at the 10-yard line. So whoever wins the toss gets to decide if they want the ball first or second. So they get a series, 1st and 10 from the 10-yard line. And then regardless of what happens, if they score, if they kick a field goal, if they score a touchdown, if they don't do anything, the other team will get a shot 1st and 10 to try and either tie, win, or or if they can't score, then they lose. So overtime in high school works a little different
Right.
than what either college and the NFL. So it's been the same forever in high school football. So they will start, whoever won the toss will choose whether they want the ball or they want it second. So be interesting to see who won the toss and who gets the football.
So there's no time on the clock, right?
No.
They're showing 12 minutes, but
Nope.
yeah, it looks like Brother Rice is going out on defense. So it looks like Marist is going to come out. They've got the ball at the 10, exactly like you said, and they're going to see what they can do with one series. Is that how it works?
They get one series, 4 plays. So typically, if they score, then in this case, Marist will get the ball, or Brother Rice. Brother Rice is on defense. Did you say first?
Brother Rice on defense first. Yeah.
So Marist will get the ball, and then Brother Rice will have a chance to tie if they need to, tie or win, depending on what Marist does.
Well, Marist just ran quarterback Ritter. Jake Ritter just ran down first play. Ran around the left side, and he's inside the 5-yard line, already down at about the 4-yard line, Dan.
All right, so 2nd and goal from the 4 there.
2nd and goal from the 4.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
While they line up, Carmel is moving fast, so they have the ball at their own 40-yard line, 1st and 10. They are playing with a little bit of pace, so I'm guessing it's late in the game, and they may still need a touchdown to win or a field goal to tie.
Boy, they are letting Jake Ritter do everything here. So 2nd play, exact same as the 1st play. Now he gets it down, looks like inside the 2-yard line, right at about the 1-yard line, pushed him out of bounds just before the pylon. So
3rd and goal at the 1.
3rd and goal. They're saying 3rd and 2. Yeah, so coming out again, I would think if you're going to get 3 to 4 yards every time he runs the ball, why not do it again, right?
Yeah, Joe, and you said this is no easy feat, right? Brother Rice is big up on defensively.
Sure enough, here he's running the ball. Let's see what they call. It looks like he's right at the goal line. I don't see. Nope, he didn't get in, but he is right there. So we're now going 4th down. You got to go for the touchdown, right? You don't want to kick a field goal, I wouldn't think.
No.
Yeah, they are at about the 1-foot line.
Wow.
4th down.
Against that big defensive front. Do you try just a traditional QB sneak? Are they in shotgun, Joe, or are they is he under center?
No, he's in shotgun. Oh, this
Some
time
people
he hands
hate
it
that.
off. Oh, I don't think he's going to get it. He handed it off to running. Oh, come on. Oh, now they call it. That was completely 2nd and 3rd effort, Dan. They had
to get in for a touchdown?
Yes.
Wow.
They had him stopped. Is that who is that? Is that Nick Herman, their running back? I'm trying to think who.
No, Nick Herman was St. Rita.
St. Rita, right. Yeah. They had him stopped. It looked like he kept churning his legs, and he was able to get it into the end zone. So,
what a game!
What a game is right.
Yep. Yeah. Our Twitter feed on Varsity Voices is great. We get a lot of great stuff, but like everyone's Twitter feed, we get a lot of garbage. Just saying. I'm just saying.
Just saying.
Yep.
All right. So if Marist gets the extra point, goes up 34-27. Brother Rice is going to get the ball, right? If they score and it's 34-34, tied again, what happens?
Same thing.
So
same thing will happen. I don't think they've.
Or
it does go on and on
until somebody wins.
It does.
So no ties.
You may have stumped me with that one.
Yeah.
I don't think so. Well, maybe they do have ties.
I feel like there was like a tie or something last year. Like it was after 3 overtimes or, yeah. I don't know. Let's see if he gets the extra point first here. So he's out kicking it. Boink.
I like this kick sound effect. It doesn't seem like it was much of a foot there, Joe. That wasn't much of a thud.
It wasn't boom.
Right.
It was dink. I don't know what the heck happened. They didn't call anything. He kicked it.
High school officiating.
He popped it up to the shortstop. All right, they're kicking it again. There were no flags, nothing. Blink. And that's good. All right.
All right.
So 34-27, Marist over Brother Rice in overtime. And Brother Rice coming out and going to get the ball on the 10-yard line, see what they can do with it.
All right, quick update here. Carmel still has the ball. They are 3rd and 5 right at midfield against Lake Forest. So again, they're working with some pace. We don't get a score on this one. Ball completed for a first down inside the 25-yard line of Lake Forest. So Carmel is driving, and they are moving quickly. So that game, Joe, they'll now get set up for Brother Rice to come out and get their shot offensively.
Right. Okay. Boy, the officials sometimes, Dan, and we've talked about this. I know it's only week 2, but they can really make a game grind to a halt, can't they?
Yes, they can.
My God. They've got this one official, he's tossing the ball to the other official. The other guy, he drops his hat. He's got to bend over and pick it up. The official tosses it to him while he's bent over. It bounces off his butt. All this on the Marquee Network, so I hope the officials know that.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. So that's a big deal. Marquee Network broadcasting high school football this year. They just came out. This is their first game of the year. So interesting to see how that broadcast went, Joe. I know you don't have the sound up, but you know, with commercials and everything, that's got to be different for high school players.
Yeah. Well, the camera work is outstanding. So I got to give them kudos on that for sure. I mean, it is as good as a college game, right? Maybe not quite as many cameras and quite as many views, but what they do have, it's really, really good. So Brother Rice hands off to Tyler Lofton.
Shocker.
He gets 5 yards. C.J. Gray is now going to throw it on 2nd down. Now he's going to run it. He gets inside the 2. So it's going to be 3rd and goal at looks like about the 2-yard line for Brother Rice.
Wow, that is unreal. That game is this feels like a late season playoff game, Joe. And the same thing with this Carmel game. There is 3 minutes left. Carmel has the ball right at the 10-yard line in Lake Forest, looking to come back and try and take the lead here. There's a sack. First play, 1st and 10 at the 10. Trey Taylor gets sacked, so they'll be back out at the 22-yard line for 2nd down.
Wow, that's something. 3rd down, they hand it off to Tyler Lofton again. This time Marist steps up, stuffs them at about the 2-yard line. So
it'll be 4th down there.
4th, and let's see where they mark it. It's at the 2, so 4th and goal at the 2. It's coming down to this one play, Dan.
All right.
Let's see what happens. Looks like Bennett's going to get the win, 49-29 over Moline. There's only about 15 seconds left to go in that game. So a good start for Bennett. They're going 2-0 to start the season.
Yeah, that's if that's gone final, then that's a great win for Bennett. Boy, Joe, I could be off on this Carmel score. They aren't showing anything. You know, Carmel is moving fast, but it looks like they might need more than one score to catch Lake Forest, and it's just hard to tell what the score is on this. If any correspondents are out there, we'd love some information on Carmel.
Come on.
Carmel Lake Forest. Give us a score. Give us a score, and we can keep you updated with the video here. So We'd love to get some of those correspondence on for Carmel versus Lake Forest. I know it's late in the fourth quarter, so Carmel is driving, but they are looking at second and about 18 when they snap the ball.
Brother Rice comes out 4th and 2. This is the game right here. Up. Of course, the officials. Oh, no, it's a timeout. Did I tell you, Dan, Brother Rice their offensive line is enormous.
Are they? Look like a college line?
They do. They do. A college line, maybe 1 year, give them 1 more year to mature, but these are some big kids. Yeah.
All right, Joe. Carmel was set on 2nd and 18. Go ahead and they go ahead and score. So 20-yard touchdown pass. Trey Taylor throws that touchdown pass. So they're trying to kick the extra point to get to. This game is, Joe, I was wrong on the score. It is 24. That'll make it 24-14. Lake Forest in the lead. So probably see an onside kick here from Carmel to see if they can't recover and score right away. So Lake Forest has done a great job of keeping Carmel down. They had a 17-point lead, now down to 10 with 2 minutes and 57 seconds remaining in the game, Joe.
Okay. Let's go. Here's the final play, Dan. They hand it off to Tyler Lofton. He is not going to make it. Marist is going to win this game. Marist won this game 34-27 over Brother Rice. They handed it off to Tyler Lofton at about the 2.5-yard line, and Marist defensive line stuffed them right there. They are going nuts, and now the fans are storming the field. Yeah, there is a huge crowd of fans out at the middle of the field at this game. This is a big win for Marist for sure.
And that's at Brother Rice, right?
That is at Brother Rice, and
wow.
And when you and I talked about predicting this game, that's what put me over the top as far as thinking that Brother Rice was going to win. You picked Marist, I picked Brother Rice.
Oh, I was just going to ask you to remind us who we picked again.
Yeah. But as it gets down to it, right at the end, Brother Rice could not put it over the end line, and they lose 34-27 to Marist in the Battle of Pulaski.
Joe, what stinks about that is Tyler Lofton, great game, right? I mean, yes. he was unbelievable. You commented on his ability to keep his feet, drag defenders when he needed to. The guy has it all, and I would have had all the confidence in the world to give it to him on the 2-yard line. So kudos to Marist for making that play, and keeping him out of the end zone. Joe, Carmel's onside kick was unsuccessful, so Lake Forest will take over on Carmel's side of the field right at the 49-yard line with under 3 minutes to play. Lake Forest up 24-14 over Carmel.
Wow, pretty amazing.
I think that's an upset.
Oh, it's got to be, right?
Yeah, that's at Carmel. I have a feeling that I think you and I probably both picked Carmel.
Oh, for sure, I picked Carmel.
Yeah, so it's pretty surprising, and the feed has been on and off, but Lake Forest has done a great job defensively, keeping Carmel's offense in check. So that is, if this score holds, Joe, that's a big victory for Lake Forest.
Oh, it's a huge victory, Dan. I think Carmel won this game last year. I think they played them last year, beat them not easy, but beat them like 20-10. Not sure what Lake Forest did in their first game this year, but for them to knock off Carmel at home, that's a huge upset. Wow.
Yeah.
That's an upset.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Lake Forest in their first game, they beat the Lakes 35-12. So they had a nice victory. The Lakes is traditionally a pretty good program.
Yeah, good team.
So we just thought really highly of Carmel. We felt like they've been getting better and better every year, and so they are. Maybe this isn't an upset to those people in the north side of the state here, but to us, we felt like we understood Carmel a little bit and thought that they were primed for really a breakout season. So congratulations. Well, it's not a final yet, so I don't want to say anything too soon because anything can happen. But
How much time is there?
about 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So the Lake Forest is trying to run out the clock. Running the football. They have 3rd and 8 from the 48 of Carmel.
Okay.
Carmel just took a timeout.
Yeah. And Dan, I know you gave this, but what was the final of the Mount Carmel game?
The last I saw, Joe, it was Mount Carmel was still up. It was 28-0 in that game. Mount Carmel over St. Rita.
Okay.
2 minutes and 42 seconds to go in that game at last reporting. Now that's 7 minutes ago, so via X. So don't know if that's a final yet or not.
Yeah, and I don't know how much were you actually able to see of that game, Dan?
I saw 0, Joe. Yes, I saw 0 minutes in that game.
0 minutes. You know why I was asking you that? Because I thought I want to find out. You mentioned in our previous episode that you think Mount Carmel is the best team you've seen, right?
Yeah.
At least through week 1, right? So I was wondering if you felt the same way after week 2, but since you haven't seen them at all and have only known the score, then
I will say this: through 2 weeks of watching what I could watch on these broadcasts, and with limitations that we've described, I don't want to jump on or blum on, but they're still that game is still the best I've seen a team perform, at least offensively. And just look so in sync and look like they were going to be really difficult to stop.
Yeah.
So, their quarterback played the best I've seen. I was really impressed with Jack Elliott. Again, I haven't seen them all, but Trey Taylor, obviously sophomore quarterback, so he's young, but he's really good as well. But Jack Elliott has so far been the best I've seen. Now, Ryan Kubaki's he's obviously had a great start. So he's probably got an argument up there for top quarterback, so far. But I haven't seen, you watched the Bennett game tonight, but back to Mount Carmel, they just looked really, really good. And knowing the level of talent that they had and that they played against, I still feel like they're the best team. So I'm planning on watching Loyola tomorrow, so I'll get a better view of them as well.
Yeah, and you'll get to see. We saw Ryan Fitzgerald last year, right?
Yeah.
You get to see him. I mean, he didn't have a great first game, obviously, but one of the things I'm noticing, Dan, there's some really good, talented quarterbacks in the Chicago Catholic League, right? I was watching Jake Ritter. I was watching C.J. Gray. You just mentioned Trey Taylor. You mentioned Jack Elliott from Mount Carmel. I mean, think about the number of quarterbacks in the Chicago Catholic League who are really talented players.
Joe, I think the level of talent, I'll go beyond the Catholic League, in the state of Illinois this year is really high. I think the quality of football is outstanding. We have seen the Catholic schools dominate, the IHSA playoffs. And, it may work out that way again because of how the divisions are broken up in the different classes. But the level of football that I've seen, read about the first 2 weeks has been really high level. A lot of good athletes out there, a lot of good athletes playing quarterback. There are quarterbacks all over the place, all committed to colleges or very young and being highly recruited. I mean, there are, you think Lincoln Way East quarterback, Friends quarterback.
Right.
There are just outstanding quarterbacks all over the place.
Yeah, there are some really good players, really talented players, not only just in the Chicago Catholic League, but in the state of Illinois, right? If you look at look at some of the recruits and where they're at, where they're ranking, if you believe those kinds of things, Illinois is right up there with some of the best states in the country, right, as far as number of recruits and where they're at as far as rankings go.
Yeah, this year it seems to have ticked up a little bit. So, hey, Joe, so we've got some games ending and a lot that have ended. Maybe we should recap some of the scores we talked about early on with the Catholic League and some of the games we followed that ended early. I can go ahead and get us started. Joliet Catholic lost to Oswego, another very good team. Oswego beats Joliet Catholic 17-0 tonight out in Oswego. We had Notre Dame travel to Sterling and win by the same score, 17-0. So that was a good victory for Notre Dame. St. Pat's won 39-0, Joe. So a great victory for St. Pat's there. Carmel was just driving again. It looks like they aren't going to be able to pull this one off. Trey Taylor just threw an interception. Lake Forest knew they had to throw the ball, so they had everyone deep, so it looks like Carmel's going to drop this one. But Fenwick in a great game. Fenwick beats St. Ignatius 34-24. Great game there. And I know St. Lawrence was up big last time I checked. I think it was 35-7. And Marmion beats Noble Academy 51-0, maybe 52-0. So there were the games I was following tonight, Joe. If you want to go through some of yours
some
that
of
you
mine,
watched.
Dan. Yeah, let's see. So Providence Catholic defeats Lincoln Way Central 23-14. Bennett Academy beats Moline. I believe that was 49-21 or 49-29. Let's see, who else do we have here, Dan? We've got DePaul Prep. I believe they were 45-0 over Marion Central Catholic, which kind of surprises me a bit. Who else do we have? I didn't see the De La Salle Foreman score.
But we know De La Salle won.
We know De La Salle won that one. And, the big game of the night, the Battle of Pulaski, you've got Marist pulling off the win there, 34-27 over Brother Rice. So, the other score I haven't been able to get here, Dan, after, Montini was up 14-0.
I got a final for that one, Joe.
Awesome.
So correspondent checked in 21-0. So over Hillcrest.
Yeah. Interesting score.
Yeah.
Montini's defense we know is awesome. A win is a win is a win. And we know Hillcrest is talented. So, all in all, a pretty good night for the CCL. Some of the teams played each other, right? So, for some of them, not as good as others, but I think it was a good night for the Chicago Catholic League and football in Illinois, Dan.
Yeah, like I said, if people haven't done it yet, get out to one of these high school games. Find the games of the week. There's several different outlets that have different games that you can go to. So there's some good ones. I'll give you a good one, Joe, for next week to have on the radar. So Montini travels to Marist to play the Red Hawks. So Marist coming off this tremendous emotional victory. Now I've kind of downplayed trap games over the course. I think we can start now talking about some of that. Yeah. So there are opportunities for letdowns. There are opportunities for trap games. Looking ahead, I think.
Sure. And now you say trap games.
Yeah. Now
I've been bringing them up for 2 weeks, and you're like, no.
It starts now. Traps start right now. Yes. So, yeah, you'll start to see some of that, and I think Marist is going to have work to do right? It wouldn't surprise me. We've talked about some of the tough practices after losses. If I'm Maris coaching, if I'm on that staff, I am saying let's grind these guys into dust
Really?
this week.
Again?
Absolutely.
This week?
Yes, let's practice the hell out of them.
That's why I'm no longer a coach and was only a coach for 1 year, Dan, because I would be like, you know what? I'm giving you guys the next 3 days off.
Let's celebrate. Let's let it continue.
Celebrate.
Let's have our own little parade down Pulaski Avenue.
Yeah, tonight pizza party, tomorrow night pasta party, whatever. After that, another party. Yeah,
Right.
That would have been my approach.
Yeah, and the coaches can go to our place, Riley's daughter. There, I'm sure there's going to be some people happy and some people drowning their sorrows at Riley's daughter this week. They told me they were going to have the game on Marquee Network all over the bar, so that should be fun for them. But yeah, look for Montini and Maris next week. It's going to be one to watch.
Yeah. And you know what? Speaking of that, Dan, look for our next episodes as well, right? Where we'll have a recap episode that'll come out on early Monday morning. We'll recap all the games from tonight, as well as some of the games that are going on tomorrow. Then later on in the week, next week, we'll have some of our preview and prediction episodes, prognosticus episodes.
The prognosticus will be out. I think you were giving me a hard time about this, Joe, early on. I think I may have come out ahead.
Do you think so?
Maybe the Maris game may have put me over the top. So
yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and look, and
we'll have to review.
Yeah, I'll review the actual podcast, the recording, and see what we said. But
yeah, I'm gonna go feed the prognosticus in the cage. Now,
right,
gonna get some leftover New York strip.
Yeah, so listen in, people. You know, we've got three more episodes coming up this week. We'll have our recap. We'll have probably 2 preview and prediction episodes before next week's Friday Night Blitz. So
sign up to be a correspondent. It's fun. See, we only have one person on the air, and they loved it, and it's harmless.
It's harmless. Yes, we will not hurt you. We promise. Yeah.
Hey, and seriously, Joe, so for those people who are listening that might have some influence or talk to folks at some of these schools, you know, our goal is to have students do this, to be our correspondents. We know that a lot of these schools have broadcast clubs. They have media groups. We would love to have students either come on the air or join the chat and fill us in on what's happening with the games. We'll put them on the air. You know, a couple times throughout Friday Night Blitz. So don't be shy, and it's great experience. You can put it in a portfolio that you can use for future use. However, colleges may be interested in something like that, or internships, or anything else like that. So use Varsity Voices. We'd love to have students come on the air with us.
Yes, the more the better, and the more fun it'll be. Dan, I'm remiss. I forgot one thing that we will be doing in our Sunday episode that we release Monday morning, and that is.
There he is.
Yes,
there he is. So, yep, I'm going to be reaching out, Joe, to the coaching staffs. You know, we've got a few shutouts that we talked about tonight, and I think there's probably some great candidates out there for Zuko's Dog of the Week.
Dog of the Week. Yeah.
So coaches, if you're listening, you know, wait for my contact and give me your candidates and let me know why. So if anyone else wants to reach out and comment, they can reach us at varsityvoices312@gmail.com.
Awesome.
Or they can always contact us on X. Where else? Instagram.
Anywhere. We're on every
Threads.
social media site that there
we
is.
are out there. We are social beings. So
Facebook,
yes.
Instagram, X. Are there any more? You said Threads. I've never heard of that one.
Yeah, Instagram. We said that. Oh, and YouTube.
YouTube. Yes, we're on YouTube too.
Yep.
So reach out, people. We'd love to hear from you. But that's it. Tonight, no more. We
put a bow on it.
Anybody? Yep, we're putting a bow on it. This is it. Thank you. If you were listening, Really appreciate it, and make sure you come back this week. Like I said, we're going to be releasing some other episodes, and you're going to want to hear them. So make sure you tune in over the course of the next week, and we will, try to keep you informed as far as everything that's going on in the Chicago Catholic League and Chicago Catholic League football. All right, so thanks for listening, people. Talk to you later. Bye.
See ya.